I get knocked back down. I gotta search my feelings just like a pat down. And when I hear you ain't loyal, I don't like that sound. And you done burnt all them bridges, don't you come back round. You know sometimes when I'm up and I get knocked back down, I gotta search.
So I came across this. She says, if you can't afford a woman's lifestyle to date within your budget, stop shaming women for wanting what you can't provide. And you can't provide it for you either. See, that's the irony of the gaslighting. You don't got the money to get what you want. So you're looking for a man to give you your unreasonable requests and demands. Nobody can afford a woman in America. You know why? You guys are insatiable. You want everything. If you get this car, you're thinking about the next one. If you get a nice house, you're thinking about a bigger one. Nothing will ever be enough because you're not happy and satisfied on the inside. There is a hole in your heart that you're trying to fill with things, and that will never work. And that is the core problem in dating. And I will also say, I've been around the world, 92 countries I've traveled to. And the most beautiful women in the world, you would never see them saying this. It is always average looking women, and there's nothing wrong with being average. Average women get married every day. I'm an average looking guy. But the most beautiful women never have this attitude. And you know what happens because they're humble, sweet, nice, and kind? They tend to get more, so they never have to make a video like this. Guys, they're broke. The women who are making these videos are broke. They cannot afford their lifestyle. And you will go broke trying to give them what they need to fill that big hole inside of their heart.
I ain't gonna make this one long. But check this out, though. I feel like being a provider has always been a fucking scam. Look at the niggas that was 100% providers, bro. Either they first child wasn't theirs or one of the children wasn't theirs. You feel me? 20 years into the marriage, 15 years into the marriage, the bitch want to leave. You can never keep the bitches happy. You know what I'm saying? You can take the bitch to all type of trips. She still don't feel fulfilled. You know what I'm saying? You can buy a bitch a brand new Benz or whatnot. It's still not. That's what I'm saying, bro. Being a provider, it's not. It don't do shit for you, bro. As a man, it don't do nothing but keep you financially stressed, mentally stressed. You feel me? It's no point of doing that shit, bro. Focus on yourself, gang. Scope and mold yourself in your future, bro. You know what I'm saying? And just find you a bitch that's gonna get on your program. Or if she ain't trying to go 50-50, kick that hoe to the curb. Look, we in different times now, man. We gotta protect our goddamn mental and we gotta protect our pockets, bro. Too many of our uncles, grandpas, you feel me, father, them niggas was suckers. You feel me? Them niggas was suckers. They ain't have all this game that we got flowing all around. You know what I'm saying? We got all this game on these apps and shit, man. You feel me? Protect your pockets, protect your mental. Being a provider, in my opinion, it's a fucking scam, bro. All the niggas I seen that was providers, bro, they ain't never shared the dark side, bro, of how that shit drove them into being alcoholics, being on drugs and shit. You feel me? They didn't just provided for this ungrateful bitch, put her up in this house, this and that and third, just for the bitch to divorce him, get the crib, and move a new nigga up in that bitch, and spending this nigga money. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Being a provider, bro, it's a scam, bro. It's a scam. Y'all boys protect y'all pockets, protect your mental. You feel me? Read, pray, meditate, work out. You feel me? Until that right one come along, it's gonna get on that program, bro. You feel me? As men, we ain't gotta be constantly goddamn in a motherfucker face for affection and attention, bro. Cause at the end of the day, our role is to lead, bro. Lead and build. Long as you leading and you building, bro, you not gonna miss out on the bitch, bro. I'm telling you, the real bitches gonna see that motion, bro, and they gonna follow lead. You feel me? They gonna follow lead. I'm telling you, man. But yeah, though, like I'm saying, man, being a provider, in my opinion, I feel like that shit is stupid. Being a provider, 100% provider, that's stupid. And if the bitch ain't trying to get on the program and go 50-50 with you, it's always one that's gonna get on your program. If you broke, just say that. Fellas, we already know that shit ain't nothing but a broke bitch shaming tactic. Man, you out here getting to the chili. You got your own shit. It's in everything in your name. You not living off no bitch. You ain't out here asking for nothing, bro. You handle your business. You go to work. You clock your 40 plus, however you get your bread. Shit like that should go in one ear and out the other, and you don't get no energy to it. Ignore that shit. Oh, I'm broke. Oh, I'm whatever you want me to be in your head, broke bitch, and keep it moving, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? See, shit like that work on a weak-minded ass nigga. A weak-minded nigga that feel like he gotta fucking prove that he got it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me send this bitch 200. She not about to play with my face, tell me I'm broke. Broke, man, come on, man. Only a weak-minded nigga fall for that shit, bro. And that's a broke bitch shaming tactic, bro. That's all it is, man. And another thing, too, the niggas that they bring up that they had that was dry sending them all this money, where the fuck them niggas at now? You feel me? Cause they cracked your ass and tossed you to the fucking side. You feel me? Yeah, you might experience a nigga giving you 100, 200. He only did that shit to crack. You not consistently getting this shit out of that nigga. You feel me? Or they might have one nigga that's really getting to the bad that might take them out on a date. You feel me? He experienced this bitch and be like, man, this hoe dry, man. This bitch whack, bro. Man, I'll never talk to her again. But in her head, that's her standard now. That's her standard now. But in all reality, your nigga probably not even fucking with you no more because he found out you a whack bitch. You're boring. Or the niggas that do crack, once again, go back to the niggas that do crack. You feel me? They don't mind sharing that little 200 whatnot here and there. You feel me? The niggas that do crack, they, oh man, this shit kind of trash, low key. Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm gonna go fuck with my other bitch on the east side. And I ain't gotta get that bitch no money. And her pussy better. You feel me? Like, come on, man. Where are the niggas that was dry sending y'all this money? You feel me? A lot of y'all bitches only experienced that shit 1 to 2 times. Like, get out of here, man. Niggas is just not giving y'all money like this. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all fucking say. If you broke, just say that. Man, don't listen to that shit.
The problem with a woman asking about a man being a provider and stuff like that, like straight out the gate. Now, there's nothing wrong with you wanting a provider eventually and stuff like that, but leading out with it straight through the gate is what like drives a lot of men away, because you give off the energy of you just trying to ask for something. You walk into them with their hands out. You see what I mean? So the big problem with the women that be asking for the providers, oh, you got to do this, you got to pay, it comes off so transactional. Even if you mean well, you be like, okay, yeah, it's nothing wrong with you wanting a man that can do things for you and that can do things for himself. That's not the problem. Like expecting the man to want to do things for you and stuff, but making it a requirement right there, that's the problem from the beginning, because first off, we don't know you. And more importantly, you don't know him. You don't know that man. To be taking like some of his resources and having some of his resources, a lot of guys put a lot of stipulations on their resources. And to be honest, and this is me not being no victim blaming or anything, I'm just keeping it a buck. So a lot of men, when they have their money and they're giving it to a woman, you have certain expectations in place, and we take it very, very seriously. That is their currency. And a lot of men rely on their currency for romantic type of interactions anyway. They don't have like a physical presentation that attracts women and stuff like that. So that's like their brick and mortar. That's their bread and butter right there. So the big problem is you're not getting to know that man. You don't know what type of man he is. That's the main thing. You need to understand that getting to know the man is way more important than thinking about was he a provider and stuff like that, because you're just gonna take money from anybody. You don't want to take money from anybody. You don't know how serious they are about their money and what kind of expectations they may have in their head. First off, because you don't know them. Like, you could be dealing with a crazy guy, you'd be like, dang, I didn't know he was crazy, but you're taking his money, you're doing all this. You say, okay, you allow him to provide, but you can't let every man do stuff for you. That's the main thing. You can't just because he's stepping like that doesn't make him a real man. A man that's just throwing money at you, that doesn't make him a real man. You need to get to know that man, to know his qualities, know what he is like. How does he think mentally? Is he mentally stable? Because it doesn't matter if he's just throwing cash away and he help you out. A crazy guy can help you out with your bills all the time. He can throw money at you, but that's not really. You see what I'm saying? You don't really know that man like that. So now he has this expectation, you doing this, and now you don't want to do something that he might, want you to do. This is when the crazy situations end up coming up. You taking money from anybody. I'm not saying this is all situations. I'm not saying that, okay, you shouldn't want a man that has something for himself and that would want to do for his woman, but leading out of that, and you'll end up taking money from people that you shouldn't be taking money from without getting to know the person. What's most important, you need to vet that person and get to know who that person is. So a lot of these situations can be avoided. I'm not saying like I say like these type of I don't want to say the words on how TikTok's going to react to that, but those situations where things happen between like interactions between men and women, and people end up going to jail and end up having like some type of battery type of things. I'll take it there. I don't know how they take all that, but all I'm saying is that if you just don't take stuff from anybody and just actually get to know the person, you know, and through time and not just worrying about his financial situation right off the bat. Like I'm not saying accept no bums and all. I'm just saying right off the bat, get to know the person, get to know the man. Look at how he carry himself. Look how what kind of man. It doesn't matter how much money he make if he ain't a good guy for you, because that'll allow you to start just taking anything from that guy just because he's providing this financially. Oh, no, he's doing for my kids. So you know, that mindset is going to allow you to put yourself in those situations where you shouldn't be. Very unfortunate situations. You see what I mean? So, and another thing, it'll turn off guys that, you know, that even the guys that you want, I'll say the value men, the ones that you want to do stuff for, I can see how it would turn those types of guys off, especially when you're looking at in the higher echelon, because like I say, they don't know you. They don't have any obligation to give you anything financially or do anything for you financially. It should be a human and then human interaction. And then if things go on, I'm like, okay, I'm feeling this chick. Okay, I'm feeling how things are going on. Then that comes into play. But coming off and making things sound like, okay, it's transactional. You got to do this. You got to do this for me. Or we can't even go out nowhere. We can't do. You got to come. You got to step like this on the day. You got to step like that. You thinking, well, you ain't got to step like nothing. You ain't got to step like nothing. You got to understand, that's the biggest thing. We don't know you, and you don't know us. You have to get to know the person first. This will solve a whole lot of things. People actually get to know people. That's why these cheap dates and the walking in the park and all that stuff is very important. Stop putting so much emphasis on what the date is looking like and how much the date costs. You need to be figuring out their mental situation, how they're thinking mentally. You don't know what kind of person they are. Listen to the key words. Like, try to pick up some red flags. You might hear some red flags. But if you sitting there worrying about the money and all this, and like I'm saying, it's not talking about all women and nothing like that. I'm saying that like the ones that are extremely fixated, and it might come from a good place, because you know they might have been hurt. They might have had things going on, like, you know, I'm not dealing with this, and you know, guys been a certain type of way even when they was good. I understand all those situations as well. But like I'm saying is, get to know the guy. Instead of just putting such a fixation on what he's making and what he's supposed to be doing for you, because you don't want to take everything from somebody. You see what I mean? I would even make this analogy right here. Like, it's a guy that, let's just say for instance, like a guy that has really good dog food. He feeds the dogs at the station, but every time the dogs come to eat with him, he kicks them. You see what I'm saying? He really kicks the dogs, but he treats the dogs really bad. But he gives them a whole bunch of food all the time. So the dogs just keep coming back, and, you know, just even though they're getting treated like smack. The other man on the other side, he might not have as much as this man over here, but or the extra high quality food, all the bells and whistles, but he treats the dogs really good. He might not have as much to feed the dogs and stuff. And I'm not saying that the man always don't have to have as much to feed the dog. All I'm saying is the treatment. The dogs got to know him, and the dogs come up to him without any food. You see what I mean? So even when he gives the dogs food, the dogs are going to come there and beat them because of the way he treats the dogs. You see what I mean? So they'll end up leaving this man that just feeds the dogs and kicks them and treats them bad. And not saying that every guy that has the money they'll throw it at them is just going to be automatically just be treating the dogs bad. But what I'm saying is, the dog shouldn't be taking food from everybody. You see what I mean? Just because it's coming in abundance from this person and it looks good, or we got some name brands and all this other stuff, doesn't mean it comes from a good place. And the dogs can be in very, very jeopardizing jeopardizing a lot of their well-being by going back over there just because they feel like the getting is good. But instead of just dealing with this guy over here that's feeding him, sometimes they feed him, sometimes he might not, sometimes he requires more from the dog. You know what I'm saying? But the dogs like the love that this man gives dogs. You see what I mean? So it's more genuine over here. It's not just transactional. Okay, we get it over here because this man like, okay, I can just give it to me another dog. You know, there's no value to that. So hopefully I brought a little more insight. I didn't really get too far into it, but you know, just wanted to do a little yap session about it.
I'm biting in person, ain't really the type to go running and jump on the internet. I come like a virus, take over the system, and then I appear like a public threat. Might call up a bitch and then have a recording of bumping my shit while she give me neck. Don't get it fucked up, cause I do hit the gym and I know that she digging my silhouette. I really don't fuck with too many, my trust hate to say, and I'm just keeping that shit a stack. Cause if niggas try me, I get unpredictable, fuck it, I get to just seeing black. You mess with the fam, I'ma hit you with 10 with a little bitches, I ain't talking Mac. But I ain't no killer, don't push me to saying up against the wall, try to touch my back. Yeah, bitch, I'm glad smooth, I'm dropping bars fresh out the penitentiary. And yeah, I put them on, they acting grand niggas, then lost memory, so now they real niggas.